What's going on, everybody? So in today's video we have some Vegas updates to talk about. Shows, nightclubs, and conventions have been given a clearance to reopen as capacity limits have been increased in the state of Nevada. So what does that mean for shows? When will you be able to go back to your favorite nightclub? Is your favorite convention returning soon? Let's talk about all of that information in the video. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so a couple of weeks ago, the governor had a press conference letting everyone know that he was easing the restrictions on public gatherings and that venues that hold 2,500 people could have a max of 250 people or 50%, depending on what the occupancy is. 250 people is 10% of 2,500. Now that plays a big role for larger venues, which I'll get to in a second. So for venues, the reason the 50% or 250 people, whichever is lower, is so important is because if you have a venue that has 350 people as a capacity, or even 400, then 175 people or 200 people, that would be your 50% capacity. So even though it's not 250 people as the gathering limits allow, that's 50% of your capacity. So that's why that 50%, whichever is lower, is such a significant thing to some people. Now on the other side, if your venue can hold more than 2,500 people, so like let's just say like sport events, let's say the venue can hold 10,000 people, you can have up to 10% of your capacity. So 10% of 10,000 is 1,000 people. And how that plays a role is if there's an event and there's going to be 1,000 people, these people have to be sectioned off in groups of 250 people. So since the gathering allows 250 people, if you can have 1,000 people, you'll need to have 4 sections of 250 people. Those sections have to be spaced off by 6 feet. For sporting events, they have to be separated by at least 6 rows of seats, vertical and horizontal. Let's talk about shows. Now, Aussie Heat at the Mosaic Theater on the Strip was the first show to actually go back into production this past weekend, and they are preparing to do more shows in the week. There are reports that Absinthe, Spiegel's World, the production company that runs Absinthe, they have already submitted their paperwork. They are planning to have the show back and running. Once that's been approved by the board, they will need about 3 weeks, I've seen, to get the crew back to do rehearsals and get ready for public shows. So Absinthe has already submitted their paperwork. Spiegel's World also runs the Opium show at Cosmo and the Atomic Saloon show at the Venetian, but they don't plan to submit their paperwork for those shows until everything has been cleared with Absinthe and they have everything up and running to start productions for that. So for all of you show lovers, this is great news. That means your favorite production has the clearance to reopen. They just simply need to file this paperwork as they've done with Absinthe. It might not take till 2021 for you to actually be able to catch your favorite show, unless you just decide you want to wait until then to come to Vegas. It was late June and the first weekend in July when the pool parties opened, and they started to open the pools at night. So if you've been in Vegas the last couple of months and you've been out to party, then you already know that the pool parties are open during the day and then they're opening up at night as pools at night. I believe daylight has been okay with like letting people dress up in swim attire, so it's EBC at night. But Marquee has not been letting anyone in the pool. But the major nightclubs, like they've been doing the parties at night, so Daylight's been doing the pool at night instead of having Light open the actual nightclub. And the same with Marquee, they've been having their pools at night. And then of recent, they have opened the inside room, but the main party has been outside. And that's where most of the people have been. Now Marquee has already announced that they're going to have their Halloween lounge party. They've all been having the pool parties at night, but they've already announced that they're going to be doing something for Halloween weekend in their lounge. And from my belief, they're calling it a lounge just because the nightclub is known to all with general admission, guest list, bottle service, the whole spiel of a regular nightclub. Because they are only doing reservation only, because these clubs will still be reservation only, that is not changing. That's why they're calling it a lounge. But it's the nightclubs that'll be open. They've already said that they're going to be open. I saw that Chateau has done a pop-up event at Alexis this weekend. That very well could be their trial run of seeing what the crowd and how the setup will be before they consider open. They're a full nightclub at Chateau. Tao has already announced that they will be reopening Halloween weekend. And Omni and Hakkasan have, although they have not confirmed anything, they've also thrown hints of a possible return. So after the increased number of people for gatherings, it's very apparent that the clubs and shows have all taken notice and have said, okay, we're ready to go. So they're going to do their paperwork and make things happen. Now, as far as conventions, if there are going to be conventions in the city with this gathering restriction increase, if the convention's going to have the 250 person limit, they don't have to have any paperwork, any clearance. They're good to go as they want. But if they're going to be at a venue that's going to have more than 250 people, they will have to submit paperwork to the board just to let them know about the convention and the number of people that they're planning to have before they can go. Now, a popular topic over the last couple of weeks around the Vegas YouTube world has been about Vegas being dangerous. There have been reports of crime being increased. There have been reports of things happening on the Strip. And truthfully, I've been in Vegas every month since the reopening weekend, just walking up and down the Strip. The crowds are picking up week by week because I believe more people are starting to feel more comfortable going to Vegas between all of the Vegas videos that you see online and just people ready to get out of the house just to have a breath of fresh air. I mean, and Vegas is Vegas, regardless of what restrictions may be, especially that the bars have now reopened. That's drawn a lot of people to want to come to Vegas for the weekend. The crowds seem normal. You still have your party people. You still have your people who wanted to go to the club but probably didn't want to pay to get into the clubs. You have your gamblers who've had their good and bad days. And you have people who just walk on the Strip having a good time. They do have police officers and security on the Strip. I'm gonna guess Vegas has seen and heard all of these concerns of Vegas not being safe. So they have put police and security just to put some extra measures of protection on the Strip. So you don't have to worry about anything. I personally don't believe Vegas is as dangerous as some people are hyping it up to be. And again, that's just me being around people and being on the Strip all day and night. But again, I know some people have concerns and a little increase in crime could be a red flag and caution to them. But I don't think it's nothing that people should worry about. And I don't think it's to the degree that you should cancel or consider canceling your Vegas trip. It's still a great vibe in Vegas. People are still gambling. There's still places to party. There's still tours to do. There's still things to do. So if you want to go to Vegas, have a good time. And that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed these updates. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, thanks for watching.